it's Miss Amelia at the library. Happy Thursday. Today I have a very special activity to do with you. Today we're going to be making Explosion Sketchbooks. And the Explosion Sketchbooks you can use a couple of different ways, so I'm excited to show those to you. Before we get started, I wanted to make a quick announcement that we will be having Facebook Live trivia tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. So you can log on with your friends or your family and play trivia with us for a chance to win a $20 gift card to a local restaurant. Tomorrow's trivia is going to be flashback trivia, so all of our questions are going to be from the 1940s all the way up through the 1990s. All right, so the Explosion Sketchbooks, I have a couple of different examples here. This one I've gotten creative with and kind of decorated on my own because I want to use it more as like a scrapbook. So this one, it has lots of pages that open up and it kind of explodes out into this awesome thing that you can either draw pictures on, or you could glue your own pictures in, or you could do some journaling if you wanted. It's totally up to you. And then it folds back nice and compact, just like that. So to make this one, I used some extra scrapbooking paper and just some recycled materials that I had at home. And then this one is going to be more of what yours looks like. In your Take and Make kit this week, you have 3 pieces of cardstock. And so when you open yours up, you're going to see 2 pieces of paper that are a solid color, like I think you have green or orange or red or yellow, and then you've got 1 black piece of paper. So when you're finished, it'll open up and look like this. And then again, you can close it back down. This is all in the folding process. Closes back down and compacts to this nice little square. It'll look like that. So I'm going to show you how to make that one right now. So in this, in my little kit, I've got a black piece of cardstock paper and I've got 2 printed pieces of cardstock. In your kit, yours are solid colors, and a glue stick. So you'll need that. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and fold my pages, and each page is going to be folded the same way. So you're going to fold exactly across. You want to be pretty precise with this because otherwise your book will not close properly. Okay, so I've got 1 fold across that looks like this. Then I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to fold it the same way. So now I'll have 4 squares, if that makes sense. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. Then I'm going to fold it diagonally across one way to make a triangle shape, and open it back up. So now you've got 4 squares and then a diagonal that goes across. And you guessed it, we're going to fold across the other way too. So when we unfold, you're going to have like a star shape. So a big X in the middle and then like a T shape across the sides. So that's my first piece that's folded. So I'm going to set that over to the side, and I'm going to do it with my next piece of paper. So each paper should have 1, 2, 3, 4 folds, and that's for each piece of cardstock. Okay, so there's my 4 folds again. You may be able to see my lines better on this piece of paper. I'm going to set that one over to the side, and then I've got 1 more left. I'm going to do my 4 folds again. And then 1 more fold across. Now when you finish this, This is a fun thing you can give as a gift to a friend, or you can even put this in the mail. It's a little bit more to send than a regular postcard, but it's very cool. All right, so now I have all 3 pieces. Now this next part is very important. I'm going to put my black piece of cardstock in the middle, and I'm going to put my 2 colored pieces of cardstock on the sides. And they're like in a diamond shape. Okay. So I have it laying out just like that. Now, if you're using printed paper, this is where you want to pay attention, because after you glue this down, when you fold everything in, the white is going to be what's showing the most after you fold all of it in. If I flip it over and I do it this way, I'll have more of my printed paper showing later. So depending on if you want lots of space to draw or fewer spaces to draw is up to you. But I'm going to choose to put my printed side on the outside, and with your colored cardstock, it won't matter. So, all right, so I've got my glue stick ready. I'm gonna scoot these pieces out to the side, and I've just laid my paper down so I've got 1 whole square on each side right here that I'm gonna put glue on the entire thing. So I'm gonna put glue, and I'm going to be really generous with the amount of glue that I'm using from my glue stick. And I'm going to cover this whole space. And it's important to get the edges too, so if you need to lay down a tablecloth for this part, in case you get glue on the table, that's all right. All right. So I'm going to line up one of my squares and make sure it aligns with the folds of the black cardstock, because making sure that it lines up is going to ensure that it folds in correctly. All right, so I've got one side done. Now I'm going to do the other side with lots of glue. Okay. Now, if you accidentally get glue on either of the opposite 2 squares, you'll want to let it dry completely before folding in your project, because otherwise you're going to get glue on parts of your Explosion sketchbook that you don't want glue on. So like for me, I'm going to fold this in right now, but if I was doing this at home, since I got a little bit of extra glue right here, I would leave that dry. And then as soon as it's dry, I can fold it all in. Okay, so put my glue lid on. This part is the tricky part. This is folding your Explosion sketchbook. And so I've got my pieces glued down. I'm going to start from the outside and kind of work in. So I've got my first little triangle. You can see that it's already folded in. And this is my second triangle for my second square that's also going to be folding in. Okay, so it'll look like that, and then you've got your top piece that folds just like that, nice and flat. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to push that one triangle's crease in, just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Push it in just like that, and it folds nicely. So I've got my 2 color pieces of cardstock already aligned like that. Now I need to fold in my black cardstock. So you're gonna have to crease this a little bit before it folds in. And that's okay. So you're going to crease it in, and it'll start to fold in on its own, which is really nice. So, all right, I'm back with my Explosion sketchbooks. Hopefully yours went equally as well. But remember, the more times that you open and close your sketchbook, the easier they will fold together. And if you are trying this activity at home, we would love to see a picture of your sketchbook. So when you finish, send a picture of you and your sketchbook to Jen's email address that's at the end of this video, and we'll put your name in for an extra drawing entry into our drawing.